Okay, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video, I want to talk to y'all more about where winds meet. However, if you want to stay up to date on all things where winds meet, make sure you're liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and let's go ahead and get right on into today's subject. So, I know it's been a few days since I've made a where winds meet video, and it's probably going to be a bit, if not at all, before I make any more guides on this game, because I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm still feeling it out and trying to see exactly, how I feel about this game. So, let's start with, my thoughts on it and stuff like that. And we're going to, just go mostly with all the positive here. The game is drop dead gorgeous. I love the character creation. I love the outfits. I love the combat. I love the weapon selection. I like the voice acting in it. I like the environments. I like the movement. I like the gameplay. It's it's a solid game. The fact that something like this is free to play, honestly blows my mind. Like there's a whole like story driven single player RPG here that's going to get more and more content over time, and it's going to be free. There are some, well, not even some, a lot of premium games that do not do that, and they cost $70 and $80. So kudos to Where Winds Meet. By all means, if you haven't tried it yet, you definitely need to play this. Right now, it's only on PlayStation and PC. I've heard some rumors that PlayStation has like 6 months exclusivity and it comes to Xbox. I don't know how true that is yet, but once I do some more research and get some more details, you guys know that will definitely be a video that we'll discuss in the future. But me personally, when it comes to Where Winds Meet and my taste of games and stuff like that, as you guys know, I'm more so of an MMO guy. Like don't get me wrong, I love my single player RPGs and stuff like that. But when it comes to Where Winds Meet, that's not exactly what I was looking for. And that's where my concern and confusion come in with this game. Now, disclaimer, alright? I'm still very early in the game. The gameplay you guys are watching right here on the screen, I think I was like level 11 or 12. Right now, I'm like 14 or 15. Still working my way through the game and stuff like that. So I'm still fairly early on. There's still a lot I haven't done, a lot I haven't unlocked yet. So by all means, alright, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. These are just early impressions. And I'm speaking from, early newbie experience. Okay? So don't let anything I'm saying, sway your opinion on trying it, piss you off or nothing like that. It's not that serious, bro. Calm down. But my concern right now is the MMO portion that, I've seen online and all that stuff, just from watching some of the gameplay of like the international version and stuff like that. Just a lot of that stuff isn't there, or it's just really hard to access. Like I've said before, and as you guys know who are playing, Where Winds Meet, it has two modes. It has a single player mode and it has an online mode. The online mode seems to be like its own separate entity from the single player mode. Like for example, if there's a quest I have to do in single player, I have to swap over to the single player mode and do that quest. I can't do that quest online or anything like that. Yes, you can do the single player mode and invite friends into your world and stuff like that, but there's even limitations there. Some quests have to be done alone. I'm not sure about how it works, with every single boss, so I'm not going to comment on that. But however, from what I can see, there seems to be a lot of limitations with this game when it comes to the multiplayer side. And that's not the most terrible thing in the world. But for me as a MMO style player, somebody who likes the bigger multiplayer experiences and stuff like that, that's a little disappointing. Just to say the least. I'm not even going to say disappointing. It's just I feel like the multiplayer side, is just filler. Like when you step into the multiplayer world, or at least the level I currently am, there's not really anything to do but just emote with some other players, chat with other players, and walk around and collect resources. and that's all I can do, or at least for right now in the multiplayer mode. I was figuring if they were going to be separate entities, the multiplayer mode would just at least be its own thing, have its own quest, its own stuff you have to follow along and do, and things like that. And I've seen the game has like this kind of gradual daily unlock system. Like every day the level cap increases more and stuff like kind of how they did things when Tower of Fantasy when it first came out. If you guys remember how that worked. So that's the reason I'm trying not to to go too hard and speak too much right now, because I very well could just level up some more, wake up the next day, and boom, there's a crap load of multiplayer content just dropped on my head, and then I'm going to look back at this video and feel like an idiot. And if that happens, that's fine. And if that's the case, and you're someone who's watching this video, and I'm at that point, you're allowed to go in the comments and say, "Hey, Tnek, you're right. You're an idiot." that's completely fine. But I just feel like for the person who's looking for the more MMO like multiplayer features and stuff like that, there's a lot of limitations, or at least right now, and there isn't too much there, being offered and stuff. Like I said, unless I'm missing something, and if I am, the comment section's right there. Let me know. But so far, guys, I'm really enjoying the game. I want more of I want more of the multiplayer portion. That's all. I want more of the MMO stuff. I want to go take on some badass bosses with my friends and and stuff like that. Do some quests with my buddies and run some dungeons and raids and all those fun good things that I saw teased with the game. Where's all that stuff? That's all I'm saying. But other than that, guys, Where Winds Meet so far has been a treat. If you haven't tried it, I highly suggest you do. Let me know if you've played it and how you're feeling down in the comments below. Y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.